So, I was scrolling through YouTube one day and came across Trippy Cree's video on Magical Girl Apocalypse. I saw the thumbnail and thought, huh, looks interesting. Guess I'll go make a video on it. So this video is inspired by Trippy Chris, if that's how you pronounce his name, and I'm gonna read the manga blind because I didn't watch his video on it. As always, here's a spoiler warning and read the manga before watching this video. I have no idea why, but for some reason, I was filled with a deep sense of despair and anxiety. My dum-dum probably thought magical girls were actually gonna invade our world or something. After a few days though, I started feeling better, so all's good. The main character, Ki Kogami, reminds me of Masato from the series Jinmen. I made a video about that, by the way. Maybe it's because they're both in a horror thriller manga. Speaking of, the horror in the manga never lets down. It's filled with gore and unpredictability. The magical girls themselves are horrifying when we first see them, but I'll get to that later. The thriller part is also a good part. Throughout the manga, or the first few arcs at least, we were never given a break from the magical girls. There are always characters who you'd expect to survive in a typical shonen series, but get killed off a few chapters later, or even in the same chapter, so the story keeps you at the edge of your seat by killing characters in the most unexpected ways. We have the main cast, of course, who you know isn't going to die because they have plot armor. Kikogami, the main character whose boring daily life gets twisted in the most horrific surprise ever, and Fukumoto Tsukune, Kogami's childhood best friend. Everyone else, I didn't know whether they were gonna live or not. Like this one bully character, Kaede Sayano, who at the start of the first chapter, we see is bullying Tsukune. I expected them to be a two-dimensional character who'd get karma'd and get killed off early, cause I thought they were made to be hated. But the author, again, surprised me by keeping them alive for a long while. Well, long in this manga standards, where the characters are killed like a villager with a bad trade. The author made me root for them as they even became a love interest for Kogami, and I personally think she's a good character with a bittersweet backstory, and personally she's just my favorite character. The magical girls themselves have horrifying designs. Before reading this series, I thought this story was gonna be more about a zombie-like magical girl disease where people turn to magical girls based on this image I saw. Well, I wasn't wrong, but I didn't expect it to add more variations. The magical girls have all kinds of powers, from time travel to controlling gravity. Maybe that's where the sense of despair I got at the beginning came from. The fact that no human can defeat the magical girls by their own. At the back of my wee brain though, I knew there had to be a way to defeat them. Although running and hiding from them is full of suspense and anticipation, the author has to find a way for the cast to fight back, and the answer to that is breaking their wands. I've never watched Magical Girls anime, but I'm assuming that's where they get their powers from. And it's really just a clever way to give our characters a chance and connect you to the magical girls that we know IRL. Question for you though, do you think Sailor Moon can survive through this apocalypse? On the other hand, one thing I really don't like about this manga is the overabundance of sexual violence, especially centered around this one character. If you've read this manga, you know Akuta Rintaro, or they call him Rent-a-Cop. He is an absolutely despicable trash of a human being. He is the P. Diddy of the manga, the EDP if you catch my drift. I really thought he was gonna get killed off, get tied up, and left to die while our characters run. Alright, I'm calm. When we first see this guy with his pants down and a couple of girls looking distraught, I thought to myself, this character is definitely not gonna survive 5 chapters. And the author proves me wrong yet again. Throughout the series, the author keeps giving this guy cool freaking fight scenes, like getting magical powers, strength, and regeneration, being able to go hand to hand against a very buff and very muscular magical girl, and winning. The worst part is, he looks like Ego from Blue Lock. Ego is one of my favorite characters, and I know this isn't the author's fault. But hot damn, this hurt my soul seeing an Ego lookalike do really disgusting things. But other than that, and I don't wanna leave on a bad note, I think this series is worth the read. If not, at least give it a try and see if you like it. The art, the gore, the horror, and the suspense is really a fun time. The author's way in subverting your expectations is just really unexpected in a good way you won't expect. I'm not done reading the manga yet, and like Jinmen, it's finished but not fully translated. But if you have the time and even a little bit curious, give it a try. But hey, that's just my 2 cents on Magical Girl Apocalypse.
Yasagi is a god. Her power is not limited by the writer's need to balance her in favor of other characters in her universe. She is the final line in the sand. The Cutie Moonstick is a doomsday weapon. She is an eternally recurring apparition of time and destiny imbued with unstoppable power. Every single cosmic, transdimensional, reality-shifting, alien, monstrous, demonic entity that has stood up to her has been annihilated within months, or weeks. Death went against her and failed, over and over.